Welcome to the Big Red Show. I'm Robert Little and I'm absolutely buzzing to be doing this on my birthday. Big Red Show is about helping people feel mint and giving them the tools and insights, what I've learned upon my journey from being a crazy party salesman, shall we say, to doing 661 days drink free. And I want to give that back to yous. So to show you that if I can change and I can feel mint every day, you can too. Today is dealing with Christmas. Christmas for me is awesome, but it's very challenging. It really is. I think there's so much coming at you from all directions. You've got kids wanting Christmas presents, huge lists like that. You've got all these social events, which are awesome, but for a person to deal with, it's so much. Honestly, so that's why I brought this episode up, so we can give you some feedback from people, the viewers, and from myself. My past experience and my experiences of Christmas is it's for family and friends and family, and this is what it is to me. We can get caught up sometimes in all the stories, like I have to go and buy all of these things and all the pressure, maybe the media and what have you, trying to get you to buy all of these things for the kids and how we've been taught, but it isn't really about that. It's about spending time with your family and your friends and celebrating that, you know, being around people who you love and you want to spend time with and just making memories. Because if you think back now, if you close your eyes for 2 seconds and just thought, what does Christmas mean? Automatically, I just remember sitting around the table with me mum, me dad, and all of that, which is awesome. But then you do have the challenges because my dad's not here now. So when it comes to Christmas, I'm like, ugh. But sometimes you've got to put that brave face on for the kids and for the family and make it special for them, regardless of what you feel inside. Because I spoke to so many people, even the barber today, and he was like, some people find Christmas really hard. And it made me think, I was like, I always feel a bit like that. But I don't dwell on it. I do different things to make yourself feel better. And that's why I wanted to bring it to you. And I'm not telling you how to suck eggs or anything like that, but if you do a little bit of work on yourselves in the morning, give yourself an hour, prepare yourself, try and make yourself feel good, because when you feel good, it radiates and everybody else feels good. And just try and focus on Christmas being awesome. You know, all the memories, what you can make now, will be with your family for years. So pick the people who you like, who light you up, and get around them and spend some awesome time with them people. I have ADHD. And if I'm honest, I would probably just jump on a plane every Christmas and go away, because my brain goes into overdrive. It really does, honestly. And that's why I have to do them fundamentals in the morning, but it's so busy. All these parties, all of these different events that we're going to, and just the build up, it's a big challenge. I meditate. I double up on me self-care, and that means for me, I'll have a midday meditation so I can split my day. I'll also do breath work 2-3 times a day, just 5 minutes. And like, yeah, I laugh because they're going, oh, you got a meditation? But the kids know when it's time for me to have one, because you can imagine like what I'm doing, you know, I've got a Smash Life coming out. I've got this program. I've got Christmas, all of these different things, which is fabulous. And it's a lot coming. So I have to double up on the meditations and the breath work so that I enjoy every day and I'm present. Number one tip is just to literally be present. I think that's why they call it a present, because it's present to you, to being today. And just enjoy living it today rather than thinking of tomorrow and all these things you need to do. Just think about how can I make today the best day I can and get through it. For me, Christmas is really just connecting with people. And make sure you do, because there's a lot of older people out there or lonely people. Make their day. Just pop round, 5-10 minutes with them, have a chat and just ask them, are they okay? Yeah, dealing with Christmas. I like to make a list. I like to literally make a list working backwards, because There's so many events we all have to squeeze in. Think of this, all these podcasts, kids, Ollie's birthday is in December as well. So I will sit down and I'll make a list from the 25th, working backwards. And then you can take it all out of your mind, put it onto a piece of paper. So you're not so busy in the mind thinking of all these things that you need to do. And be kind to yourself, you know, like give yourself a bit of credit, because it is challenging. And that's why I wanted to make this sort of series, just to say, look, we're all going through it. So just smile and just have a good time, because you are off a lot more. You certainly are. It's a season to celebrate. So many parties going on. I look back to when I used to be really heavily into drinking and partying, and it was just night after night after night after night. So I've seen that. But if you're not into drinking now, that is awesome too. But just plan ahead. I've spoken to a couple of people recently, and they were like, well, I'm not drinking anymore. How do I get around that? And I was just like, things I used to do back then, I would literally set little reminders on my phone where it would go, leave now, go home. And as silly as it sounds, it really helped us. It really helped us avoid staying out later than what I would normally would. And then the next day, I'd be super fresh. And being fresh and being happy at Christmas is easier without the drink and all the other stuff that comes with that. Christmas is sometimes hard. A lot of people seem to die at Christmas time, to be honest. And I think back, there's so many. So when we all think of Christmas, yes, it's joyful and what have you, but it's hard for some people, and I can totally relate to that. I think back, and it's like one of the Christmases we just spent nearly the whole time in the hospital, you know, waiting for my dad to just pass, which was, it's kind of challenging. Really sad times, really. So Christmas as a whole is a hard time, yeah, even for me. And I feel it, I do. And we all probably can relate to that, because we all have family who've gone at Christmas, and when you're trying to stay positive and think of the table and, oh, we're going to do this and do that, but then you're missing the key person who you've always had the Christmas with. I think of my mum. I really do, because her soulmate was my dad. And I just think, like, she must be feeling it, you know? And I think of that sometimes when it comes to Christmas. So I relate to a lot of people out there and say, like, you're not alone. It is a challenging time. It is that. And I relate. And each day, sometimes Christmas probably is a struggle. Never mind all of the other stuff coming in with the presents and all of the stuff you feel like you probably have to do. You don't really need to do all that. Just be happy for yourself, or try and get through it. So Christmas, if I need to raise my energy, I always say, win the morning, love your day. And you probably heard that, but I give myself an hour every morning. I wake up, I do a combination of things. I will literally run out the door and go straight on the town mower. I love the town mower because it's green, and green makes you feel good, by the way. I will just walk for an hour, clear my mind, because me, like a lot of years, I'll wake up like, ugh. And I do. So I'm out the door, bump on the town mower, or I would go around the corner and I do next level fitness, and that makes us feel amazing. And then I will come back and I'll add to that, because I'll do some breath work. On one of the series we'll touch on that, but I'll do some breath work and I'll do some meditation, which just makes you feel good. And I'll also do a cold shower, or a jump in a barrel full of cold water. And for me, it releases your endorphins and it makes you feel good. So there's some things what I like to do in the morning to make me feel mint. Those are some things I do in the morning to raise my energy and just to help us feel better about the day. And then I will spend about 10 to 15 minutes journaling how I want my day to be. Because you can imagine all the things we've got going on at the moment. I need to set my day out in hours, in times of the 4 things I need to do. So I'll try and do 3 to 4 things a day, try not to do much more than that. And I will set that out how I want it to be. So I'll plan my day. Planning is a really good thing to do in the morning because you're not having it all spin around here. You're planning your day, how you'd like it to be. And then at the end of the day, I look back and I'm like, oh, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. And they become me wins. So I celebrate wins. So me like targets of the day actually become wins at the end of the day. So I'm like, oh, I've done that, oh, mint. So it's a feel-good factor from a little bit of journaling. And it also takes it out of here and puts it onto there. We've got some amazing questions from our viewers. Is Santa real? From Keith. Oi, oi, mate. I tell the kids it is. He is. I do. Yeah, because you've got to create the magic for them, you know. So let them decide for themselves, you know, when they get older, when it gets to that time. But I just say, he's definitely real. We've got a voice note from amazing Sarah Mills.
I get organised so nothing feels overwhelming. Forward planning, then it's just family fun.
Sarah gets organised. I do myself. Like as I mentioned, I like to make a list and I'll ask people to help us with a list. So I don't really like shopping, if I'm honest. Nah, I don't. So what I do, I'll delegate it or I'll ask my cousin, Bobby. I'll ring Bobby. Bobby, can you come round? And he loves it. He'll fly up on his little scooter. And then we sit round, my mum will have a chat, we'll all be bum, bum, bum. And he's just like that, bum, bum. And it's done. And I'm like, what? Andy saved his money because he loves to shop. So get people around who like to do those things because people helping others gives them a buzz. And what a relief for me, I don't have to do that. Bobby's done it, bang, 2 seconds. So involve people if you can. And this is what makes Christmas more fun, easier. We've had a message from Millie who shares her views about honest conversations to have with your family about expectations at Christmas. And Millie has said, I think proper conversations about what Christmas should be about and agreeing it's better to go without than get into debt. Volunteering instead of profiteering. It is possible to have the best Christmas without splashing the cash. Just do some forward planning. Thank you for sharing your message, Millie. I do appreciate it. I think it was like 2 years ago. I was on a mission to do 1 million trees, which didn't really work. I done 5,000, which I'm buzzing about, but I didn't make any money. And I had to sit Ollie and Katie down and just say, look, I haven't really got much money. And they were like, Dad, it's fine. And I was like, I felt relieved because I'd spoke to them about it. And I just said, what do you really need? And then Katie took that list from being like that to that. And it was like, I just had the conversation and it made us feel so much better. That was one of the years that I do remember. Volunteering instead of profiteering. I actually went to the people's kitchen and we prepped for them. And honestly, it was a most memorable day. Probably a highlight of one of the things I've done this year. And all I've done is just chop vegetables and move stuff around. And we didn't actually get to feed them because we'd done the stuff during the day, but honestly, it made us feel amazing. It made us feel really good. And everybody was buzzing because they were giving back. And I think as people, that's something we love to do. And it brings with more joy. If you think back yourself, what lights you up? I think giving people stuff and helping people really does. So certainly you can get more of a buzz out of volunteering than profiteering. When I think back to Christmas, what I can remember is sitting around the table. I can remember my mum, my dad, our Louise. We used to go to my nana's. That's what I can really remember. We used to go to my nana Mary's, just get on the train and we'd arrive in Hartlepool. And I can always remember the family meal and just playing games and just having fun and everybody laughing, you know. And my nana would have a little whiskey and just fun times. Ever think back to presents? There's nothing what stands out. It's the memories and the people. Yeah, and your friends and your family. What is my highlights for my Christmas? But I ask you just to close your eyes and what do you remember? Now a message from an anonymous person. I lost my job at Christmas. How do I focus on Christmas with this unexpected challenge? I'm really sorry to hear that. I am. And that is a big, big challenge for you. I would just say, focus on yourself. Make you the number one priority, because you're going through a lot, never mind the Christmas and all that, with the job, losing it. And I just think if you do some of the stuff what we talked about, self-care, just make that your priority, and just do the best you can, because you've got a lot going on. But certainly focus on yourself, and that's not being greedy. And when people say like the king or the queen must eat first, you have to make yourself feel good in order to give more to other people. But yeah, I would certainly 100% focus on you. You are the priority now. I love that question. Try not to drink too much, because I've been there, and it's very challenging when you're going out with a bunch of lads. I would speak to whoever's like sort of the ringleader and just say to them, look mate, I'm coming out, but I cannot really drink much because I have X, whatever you can say, on tomorrow. And when you tell him that, it'll make you feel easier. I would do that. If you have somebody who's like the ringleader of the group, and just say to yourself, look, I normally drink for me, I used to drink about 10 pints, easy, probably more. And then I just say to myself, look, Robert, I'm only going to have 5. And set yourself a target of just having what you know you can get up the next day and feel okay. And just sort of stick to that. And just say to your friends, look, I can't be in the rounds, or come to the pub a little bit later. Stay out the rounds, because that's more pressure, because you're going to the bar. Stay out the rounds. Just say, I'm just going to drink by myself. And then you can dictate how much you drink then, because you're not in that round, you're not in the circle. And just say to your friends, look, I've got to be there in the morning. And set yourself a reminder on your phone that you have to leave at a certain time. For me, I had to leave about 10, 11 o'clock, or else it would be escalating into the crazy nights. And if you don't want to go crazy, you have to set yourself little reminders and do that. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, the first one of the Big Red Show. And if you're all ready to smash 2025, I've got a program called Smash Life Challenge. I'd love you to come and work with me. Smash Life Challenge is a 6-week program to help you become the best version of yourself. Taken from all the people I've worked with and sort of condensed it into a 6-week program, giving you the best I can. And this is my first one, and I would love you to come along, because it's going to be mint. I'd love it if you could like it, share it, because the more we can impact, the better all around. Life's about showing up, embracing them challenges, and having a go.